Hello, welcome to the Echo Tips podcast. You did get the right podcast. This is just another one of our archive episodes. We're going back to one of our goodies that was very popular. That was episode number 80, dealing with notifications on your Amazon Echo. So let me get the cassette tape here and pop that in, and we'll rewind to that episode. Welcome to the Echo Tips podcast. I'm David Ward with the New Vision program. It's a pleasure to have you this week, and our topic this week is going to be dealing with notifications on your Amazon Echo. So that'll be our topic. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of that, though, and all the little nuances of notifications, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, and then we'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by the New Vision program at Goodwill. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission services help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Hello, welcome back. As I mentioned earlier, our podcast this week will be dealing with notifications. Notifications, that's right, on your Amazon Echo. Now, if you're listening for the very first time, my name is David Ward with the New Vision program at Goodwill here in Southwest Virginia. It's a pleasure to have you here for the very first time, and if you've been listening for a while, well, we're glad to have you all back with us as well. Now, notifications are an interesting construct, an interesting feature of the Echo, and really it kind of flips its head on the idea of communicating. Often we say the A-lady name, we get her attention, she chimes up and we ask, what's the weather? We ask, what's on my calendar? We say, play some Elvis Presley, right? We're initiating the conversation. But at times, the Echo, as a smart home device especially, can alert us to things we didn't know are going on, which I imagine is going to be an evolving feature set. And in fact, we're going to, in a future episode, talk about hunches, which is a new feature of the Echo, and what that kind of can give you notifications about things. But first off, we want to burrow into where do you find notification settings on your Amazon Echo. Now, before I take you into that, I'm going to have to say the A-lady name a number of times, so it might be useful for you to shut the microphone off on your Amazon Echo so she won't respond when I'm doing the demonstration or I'm talking about her here in our podcast episode. So on your Pringle can or cylinder-like Echo, on the top you'll have some buttons, one right across from the one with a bump on it called the action button. It's got a little silhouetted microphone with a slash through it. Even the Echo Dot has that same button. You push that button and that turns her ears off. You'll hear a thump sound and the ring on the top will turn all red. And you're good to go. Now, if you're dealing with an Echo with a screen on the front, there's a number of those now. If the screen is facing you, on the top rim, you should have several different buttons. It should be the button on the far left. You press that, once again, thump, and you'll see a red bar across the bottom of the screen. And that means that her ears are off. And that way, when I'm doing the tutorial or I'm saying her name for context reasons, we're not messing you up at home. Okay, so we'll just give everybody a second to do that. Uno momento, second. Okay. All right, good. Hopefully everybody's got that done now. If not, you can always pause the podcast and then come right back and resume. Okay, so first off, I gave that advice and I need to shut her ears off here in the classroom so I can say the name without triggering her. Okay, so first off, define the notification settings. Open the Alexa app on your smartphone or tablet. Hopefully you have that installed and already set up and logged in. All you need to do is hit the menu button in the top left, go down the menu that slides out near the bottom, should say settings, should be near help or whatever. Tap on settings. Once you have that open, you're going to see notifications on the main page. So this tells you immediately you don't have to go to devices. This isn't a device specific setting. So in other words, we're configuring notifications to act this way across all of our Echoes on our account, whether they're in the top of the house, the bottom of the house, even if maybe we have an Echo at work, they're all going to interact this way when we hit notifications. So we hit notifications under the main setting panel, and then you have all these different ways you can toggle notifications. So for examples, you have reminders, you can toggle that on and off. You have shopping. You can toggle that on and off. Now, that's one I use a lot, or I think is one of the very first notifications they ever had, which is that your Echo will go ding, ding, ding. Your thing you just ordered on Amazon is in the mail, right? Or ding, ding, ding. It just got delivered. The UPS man just dropped it off at your house. So little notifications like that. By the way, that reminds me, not only will you get a audible notification generally with anything that's categorized as a notification, you'll also often, especially in the shipping context, you'll get a little yellow ring spinning on the top or something generally like that. Okay. Now, here's additional things you can toggle: answers or answer updates. Now, this one I'm not terribly familiar with. But I do know, and this is going to be closely linked with hunches we'll discuss in the future, where maybe you ask something and she said, I don't know right now, but if I find out, can I tell you later? And you'd say yes. In some future date, she might give you a notification that says, hey, by the way, that question you asked me about, now I know the answer. How many licks to the, Tootsie Roll Pop or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, she'll come back and tell you. Another toggle feature you have here in the settings panel, things to try. Now I'm thinking the way this is expressed here in the settings, I've had her tell me things to try, but sometimes she gives me those notices not independently, not just like I'm walking around in the house and she just goes, ding, ding, ding. I thought I'd tell you about this cool, game on, she doesn't do that. I think some of these notifications are prompts that are during your interaction, so not necessarily just out of the blue yonder. Additionally, here you have device sharing. Now, I had to burrow into what this is, and device sharing deals with connecting other accounts. If you hit that, it would tell you that she'll give you some sort of notice that somebody's connected their account. Now, I wasn't too sure exactly how that worked. So in the early days, and in season 1 we talked about this, having household members having their account on your Echo as well. And that allows you the utility to switch between, say, mom and dad's calendar be separate and different. Their music preferences or whatever. And you can switch between, you could say switch user. But this is a similar concept that is expanded out to include a device sharing with, say, a guest. And I even tried this out. It's kind of interesting. You could say, and I think I'll cover it in a future episode, where you can actually connect it to your account. She will verbally ask for your phone number. I don't think she can do email address. I don't know. I guess you give her the password. And then a friend who's over maybe visiting you can still, even though you have Echoes in the house, they can still play maybe their music or check their calendar and the like. Anyway, that's a long way to say, with this feature automatically toggled on, if you were somewhere in the house, you would get a notice. Hey, by the way, your buddy Frank, who's staying with you for the weekend, he connected his Alexa account to your Echo. So I guess it gives you that kind of notice. Also, now this is probably where really the rubber's going to meet the road. Is at the bottom of the setting panel, you have lists of skills, or we could think of them as apps for your Amazon Echo. Now, for example, this is probably intuitive: Domino's Pizza. if you had the Domino's Pizza skill set up on your Echo and you had ordered a pizza, Domino's has the utility to tell you when the pizza actually was put in the car and it's out for delivery, or when the pizza was completed, various different things. And so obviously it would be nice to get notifications about that. So boom, your Echo goes ching, ching, ding, ding, ding. Your pizza's en route, and the pizza place is just 4 blocks away or something. It's going to be soon. Another one that I had here is Big Sky Weather skill. So I guess maybe if thunderstorms or inclement weather, your Echo might go ding, ding, ding. By the way, whatever, tornado watch or something like that. I haven't had much experience with that, but it is listed here as an app I've tried to use and that I could turn notifications on or off. Now, let's say you missed a notification, a chime, ding, ding. Now, typically, the ring might still be spinning on the top yellow. That kind of gives you a visual notification. I would really like, because I can't see too well, I would really like it to continue to give me an audio ding from time to time. It doesn't do that right now. It does something similar to if you get like a voice memo or message from somebody, it'll spin with a little yellow thing. But let's say you want to know what it is. So this is how you would do it. You would say, Alexa, what are my notifications?
You don't have any notifications.
Okay. Yeah. I was hoping it would tell me one of the deliveries I just had, but I guess that was yesterday. It automatically cleared that out. But anyway, that's all you would say is, hey lady, what are my notifications? Or hey lady, what did I miss? And she'll come back and tell you, yada, 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 you missed. Subtly different. If it's a message, I think you would need to say, play my message. And it would do that. Alexa, play my last message.
No messages from today. For earlier ones, go to the Alexa app.
Okay, that's probably because I've already listened to them and it just kind of forces me to go to the app. Okay, so anyway, that gives you a brief idea about notifications and where we're going. Like I said, we're going to be talking about hunches in the future, which is going to expand on this capacity. But until that time, let me tell you about what we're going to talk about next time, which is the Do Not Disturb feature on the Amazon Echo. Until that time, it's time to turn your microphone back on, start practicing some of the many things that you've learned. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, and we thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. In conclusion, let me tell you a thing or two. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and it is also made possible in part by a grant from Community Foundation serving Western Virginia. And there's more. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. For more information, check out our website at goodwillvalleys.com/newvision, with no spaces. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission programs help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Thanks for listening.